How taking a bath led to Archimedes' principle. The best moments in which we learn something are those moments when we are in difficulty, when we cannot find the solution to a problem. Although we try hard, these moments are happened throughout the history. We read about some truly amazing discoveries every day. Let's talk about one of them, the story of Archimedes' principle. Archimedes was born in the city of Syracuse in Sicily in 287 before Christ. He was a great mathematician, inventor, physicist, astronomer. One day he was sent by the king to investigate if he had been cheating by a goldsmith. The king said that he had given to the goldsmith the exact amount of gold to make a crown, but when the crown was ready, the king suspected that the goldsmith had cheated at him, and slipped some silver onto the crown, keeping some of the gold for himself. The king asked Archimedes to solve this problem, but there was a catch. He couldn't do any damage to the crown. One day, while taking a bath, Archimedes noticed that the water level in the bathtub rose and flowed as he immersed himself into the tube. He suddenly realized that how much water was displaced depending on how much of his body was immersed. This discovery excited him so much that he jumped out of the bathtub and ran to the street naked, shouting "Eureka," which comes from the ancient Greek meaning "I found it." But what did he find? Well, he found the solution to the king's problem. Archimedes needed to check the crown density to see if the density is the same of that of the pure gold. Density is a measure of mass divided by its volume. Pure gold is very dense, while silver is less dense. So the silver in the crown would be less dense than if it was made of pure gold. But no matter what is made of, the crown would be the same shape, which means the same volume. So Archimedes could measure the mass of the crown first, and then measure its volume. He could find how dense it was, but it was not easy to measure the crown's volume. It has a rectangular shape, which is different from a box or a ball. You cannot measure the size and multiply it like you might for other shapes. The solution, Archimedes realized, was to give the crown a bath by placing it in water and seeing how much water was displaced. He could measure and calculate the density of the crown. If the crown was less dense than the pure gold, then the goldsmith must definitely cheat the king. When Archimedes went to the king and did his test, he found that the goldsmith hadn't cheated the king and slipped some silver. These days, using this way an object displays water to measure the volume is called Archimedes' principle. So next time you have a bath, maybe you will have a genius idea of your own.